John Wanamaker had a very interesting quote. "I'm wasting half of my advertising budget, but the problem is I just don't know which half." Now, this is a problem that has been plaguing marketers since time immemorial, since the birth of marketing. When you started getting those annoying leaflets through your letterbox in the 20s or something, and when you had people standing on podiums all around great cities like London selling their wares and shouting from the rooftops, "Buy my stuff, buy my stuff." The trouble is, as marketers, we've never quite known what activities we're doing actually lead to the best tangible results. Sure, at various intervals you can kind of work out what activities are generating the most opportunities, or what seems to be going the best in terms of the different channels you're doing, but can you actually tie it back to the specific number of customers that you generated and how much they paid you, not only the first time? Ideally, as a marketer, what we want in order to have the perfect setup and perfect information with which to guide our marketing activities is to be able to say, this channel or this effort led to this much revenue and this much profit over the whole lifetime of a client that it generated. So how do we get that? What is the Holy Grail? That is the purpose of this video, and I'm going to use some examples of my own agency, The Brains, how we do it, so that you can see potentially how to implement it in your own company. So if you don't know who I am by now, I'm Larry Kotch, and I'm the host of Brainy Marketing, where I try to give you the best information on lead generation, marketing automation, and everything else with marketing under the sun. If you want to capture leads right now and you're looking for a system to do that, you can pick up my Leads on Tap blueprint in the description below. And yeah, give this channel a subscribe if you want that kind of info, and a like on this video would be very much appreciated. So moving on. How are we going to get this nirvana of marketing information? Step number one is we cannot just let the data stay in analytics. It has to be ported over into the sales CRM. So now let me kind of take a step back and walk you through what I mean there. See, obviously on the B2C side, if you're running an e-commerce store or you're selling stuff online on a website, it's traditionally been a lot easier now that we have all this data and online marketing to track how a platform is actually contributing to sales. So you can say, I spent 5,000 on Google Ads, 5,000 on Facebook, and I got this many sales on my website for those channels. So that's a bit more straightforward because you can actually link up the spend directly because the conversion event on your site is an actual sale. Now, closed loop analytics is much more relevant for B2B audiences, while obviously in B2C there's some stuff which I'll address at the end of this video. But focusing on the B2B audience, marketers who are trying to generate leads for a sales team, what often ends up happening is because the conversion event on your site is, somebody submitting their details for a callback, or maybe they're booking a call with you or asking for a callback, we tend to leave that at the door for the sales team. So we kind of optimize our activities as in, well, I spent 5K on LinkedIn, 5K on Google, and 5K on my email marketing system and software. And they generated, let's say it generated 50 leads on LinkedIn, 20 leads on Google, and 30 leads on email marketing. Marketers can look at that and say, well, given that I'm spending 5K equally, look how many leads that LinkedIn generated. So clearly that is the best channel. I should be spending more of my time there. However, what actually happened to that lead? Did it become sales qualified? Did it progress through the sales pipeline and end up in an awesome client that's going to be very large and generate a lot of revenue for your business? Or was it just a tire kicker? Was it someone who wanted to get in touch but wasn't a good fit for your company? You see, ideally, in order to really kind of work on what we should be doing as marketers, we need to have sales and marketing aligned. We need to know the sales outcome of all of our leads. And ideally, not just the sales outcome, but the repeat sales over the number of years to be able to see consistently over time which channels are actually driving the true value for the company. Then, only then, with that information, can we actually be able to tailor our marketing in a way that leads to real business outcomes, not just leads, which is only half of the story. So hopefully you're with me there. You kind of see what I mean. It's not just good enough to say, well, I generated 100 leads and I'm trying to get you the cheapest cost per lead sales team. So, more's going to come in, you just deal with them, and you should be happy because this month cost per lead is down. It's not good enough. So how do we fix this problem? What software can we use? Like how do we close the loop on analytics? The whole point is closing the loop. The first thing you need to do is set yourself up with a CRM that integrates directly with the analytics, the online website analytics or Google Analytics and your ad platforms, as well as the sales CRM. I recommend using either HubSpot or Salesforce if you're going to do this. An example I'm going to kind of have going while I'm talking will be from my own HubSpot setup. So you can kind of see what I mean. But if you have other CRMs, there are third-party tools in some cases that will help you do this to the same effect. You're just going to have to research around. Somebody comes onto the website, they convert, they want to call back, they've come from some sort of channel, and they go into the CRM. Now what I want is, as that contact comes into the CRM, I want it to pull all that info. What ad did they click on? What channel was it? What time? All of that relevant info gets put into their contact fields within the CRM. Now the salesperson doesn't ever need to see that information. They're just going to put in, the job title, they're going to write call notes, log their emails against them, and they're going to progress them and qualify them if they're a good opportunity for the business, or just kind of put them into closed lost, they're no good for the business, and they're going to go through the sales pipeline until they either become a deal that closes, or like I say, it just goes into closed lost. So we'll be able to set up in HubSpot reporting that shows this is how many MQLs each channel delivered, this is how many SQLs this channel delivered, as in they actually made it into the sales pipeline, and this is how much revenue was generated by each of these channels. So key here is that the sales team has to be logging the revenue associated with each deal, and that has to be very, very accurate. You want that to be totally accurate. And then you can have this reporting done within your CRM automation platform. Now, there's a step further that you can do to add to this if you want to be really long-term thinking about this, and that is to then sync up that information with your accounting software. So let's say you use Xero. The first time, let's say you close a client on a 5K a month retainer or a 10K project. That's the first deal value. So in your reporting, you're going to see, okay, well, that channel generated 10K this month. So once that gets into the accounting system though, where you're actually sending the invoices, which is typically not done within the CRM, then you're kind of losing track, because then again, it's kind of going into another dark area, because maybe 3 months down the line, they want to do another 20K project, or they want to add other services. The two solutions you have to this problem are, you can either create a new deal inside your CRM every time there's an upsell, which is a very straightforward fix, or you can actually just port across the analytics info into Xero and do your reporting via Xero. So you can actually create a custom field against contacts within your accountancy software that show you what channel they originally came from, because it's pulling the info directly out of HubSpot. So you can see how you now would have a continuous string from the first touch point on the website all the way to that invoice being sent 3 years down the road. You know that it originally came from this specific Google Ads. Can you see how powerful that is? Can you see how powerful that would be as a marketer to be able to know not only what channel is best at generating leads, but what channel is best at generating leads that are sales qualified, to what channels are best at generating leads that are sales qualified that close, and how much they close for, but also how long you keep charging them for, how much money you make over the lifetime. I hope that makes sense. If you want some more details on SQLs versus MQLs, sales qualified leads, marketing qualified leads, click somewhere around here. I'm going to link a video where I discuss how you measure cost per lead, SQL, MQL, and all that. But otherwise, this is what you need to do to close the loop. And until you close the loop, you are just working in the darkness. So I really encourage everyone to go ahead and look into this more. Hope this video was useful. Like would be very appreciated, and see you for the next video.